This week on the show, we're featuring Topaz, 10 new jokes, Amber 2 under the microscope cam, pepperoni on why I buy that, and hot takes of coolness. A reporter asked an artist how they're able to make so many paintings, and the artist replied, "It's just that easel." Let's start the show. Okay, let's get the chatbot fired up. That way you can throw tomatoes at me during the joke portion. Hello, and welcome to the Gem Show. And thank you for the message. This piece of topaz had some blue in it, and I thought, oh, this is kind of neat. But it's got a split in the middle. So I had to split it in half, and the blue stuck to one side. That's the one that we shaped up in the corner. The blue doesn't really come through on the photo, though. I was actually looking at photo boxes. I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up a photo box. Hey, Vivian Sanchez, how's it going? I was all on Vivian's live stream when I woke up in the middle of the night. We had a fun time over there, talking about how they actually get snow in an area where I thought there was desert. And not like, a sprinkling that you sweep off, but like scoop shovel deep. Not just snow shovel, but scoop shovel. Like big coal shovel. Like a couple passes with the snowblower. And Colette made it. All right. Cheers, Colette. Queen of the Rubies. How's it going? Good to see y'all. Hope you're ready to see a little piece of topaz get shaped. I thought that I put the camera down to split this thing. Did I already do that? Maybe not. Maybe I shape it and then split it. What am I doing here? This is crazy. Yeah, I guess I am shaping it. I wanted to see that crack. Okay. I love topaz. It's so much fun to shape up. Hey, Kalakis. Cheers, buddy. Been a while. Good to see you. Glad you made it. Not a very long show today. Hopefully I got some content for you. Cheers. Welcome to the program. Corn syrup and lemon balm. Commonly referred to as dew of the mountain. Actually, I don't know anybody who refers to it as that. Usually people just call it Mountain Dew, which apparently there's a couple of new flavors. A couple of new flavors of Mountain Dew. Something called Spark, like lemon and raspberry. Something tells me that's been around a while. Maybe not. I just assumed to add my own lemon and raspberry, which it's kind of weird because Mountain Dew's already got lemon in it. So did they add more lemon? Or did they just throw some raspberry in there? And then, drew a lemon on the package. Then there's also alcoholic Mountain Dew, I guess, which is vodka mix, probably. Hand sanitizer and soda pop. Maybe you could make a Mountain Dew hand sanitizer. I might buy that if I used hand sanitizer. I never really got into the hand sanitizer because I don't like the things on my hands. Which is weird because I wash my hands a lot. And I use paper towels to dry them. Yeah. Something about my furry underhand area. I gotta dry all that off. Information, all kinds of it. Lots of information. Not related to gemstones, but there's a gemstone up there. You can see the crack. I thought usually when there's a crack that goes most of the way through, I'll saw from the other side, and then I'll split that, and it goes down the rest of the crack. But I think I actually got this one just with a wedge. Use a wedge and a hammer. Oh, we are going to try and show it. Yeah, welcome to my gem shaping station. Thanks for the wrench. I know. Well, I know you. I know you're there, and so, want to make sure I catch your comments. Sounds sticky and something the Hulk would use. Oh, that's freaking hilarious. Hilarious like my attempts at writing jokes during the joke portion. Not a lot of video today, not a lot of content today, but we're going to try and do the show. I want to get this feature so that I can show it, I wanted to try and feature this so that I can give it away. This is the other half of Pastor Cameron's Blue Gems for her birthday. Last week it was aquamarine, and this week it's this piece of topaz. Let's plug in the microscope cam so we can take a better look at it. I was actually looking at photo boxes, like photo booths, so that I can take better pictures that will show the blue a little bit better. Yeah, there's the two halves. Split it right up with that wedge. Ah, the dust. Oh yeah, the plant food dust. Vivian, I'm supposed to send you an email. I didn't do my list this week, and I need to actually redo I got a multi-page spread book that helps me keep track of all of my to-do stuff. And I need to send you an email about the plant food. I'm supposed to get some new labels, and let's see. I'm supposed to get some new labels, and I thought they were going to come in the mail. I was going to send a bottle with the new label on it to Twisted Roots, and they didn't show up in time to send them out by the weekend. But we'll try and do that next week. This is my fixed focus camera, but there's the topaz. Let's look at it under the microscope, shall we? Got a nice little polish going on. Oh, gotta open the microscope to be able to show it. Production qualities, yep. We don't got them, but we pretend like we do. So, actually, I was going to talk about the plant food and giving it away. I gave away a lot of plant food, and I actually stopped giving away plant food samples. Because I did give away a lot of plant foods. Where's the desktop? There we go. I gave away a lot of plant food samples, and I found a couple of problems with giving it away. Part of the problem is that now that I have repeat customers, they're like, why aren't you giving it away to me? But then the other problem is that when I give the samples away, only about half the people have the time to, really follow through, which part of that is a problem because people don't use it properly. Like I've had a couple of people who tried to spread it out. I had one fine gentleman tell me he ran out, which is impossible. I gave him one bottle to put on one plant. How can you run out? And he said, I spread it out across 40 plants and didn't really see a difference. And that's because you're only going to see 1/40th of the difference if you only use 1/40th of the recommended dose. You're not supposed to dilute it because it's not about the water in the bottle, it's about the powder, and you're trying to get it to the roots. And so when you dilute it, it's actually sinks pretty quick. And I've figured that when people don't pay for it, they don't care as much, which is, part of the problem. But I do still give out samples occasionally to people who are really interested in trying it out. And now that I have a new label, I want to try and get people's feedback on the new label, because I think the new label better sells the product. Like, it was just 22 Gemstones Plant Food on the label, which, it's plant food. It doesn't really describe it. But now it says trace mineral plant food made of gemstones, which kind of makes for a better it explains it in a short and fast way. That's kind of what I'm going for. Kind of like how I'm trying to explain this gemstone in a short and fast way. This topaz, I wasn't really sure how to finish it and keep the blue in it. So I kind of just ate the one side down. Oh, there's one video. One down, one to go. If I can find where I put the other video. Good old production quality. Welcome to the show. Glad you could make it. Seriously, glad you could make it. I'm gonna try and find this part. That's where the gem footage is. I had the folder open. At least I labeled them this week. Then I don't have to search through the ones that I didn't label. Okay, there we go. Alright, so this is the blue topaz that we're looking at under the microscope cam. And I'm like, now that I got the sides worn down, how do I go ahead and pick a shape and try to keep the blue? Because the blue is actually in a zone. So I have to keep the blue in an area that the other facets on the underside will reflect it around. And we did, it always tones down a little bit, but it did, for the most part, keep the blue in itself. And the neat thing is, this is actually kind of a topaz shaped cut. That's the, there's emerald cut, there's quartz cut, and they kind of highlight the shape of the crystal. And this one, even though the crystal is actually turned on this plane, this would be more of the cleavage plane, it still has the topazy shape. And I also shaped up the other half, which will make a feature in a few weeks. I haven't polished it yet. Here's the difference between my desk polish. But see how this one's kind of white, and this one's got a little bit more of the blue in it. Maybe I can put them down and they'll show the difference between the whiteness and the blueness of it. Zing! Good old microscope portion. Yeah, so anyway, now we can give this little lovely blue topaz away. I like giving the gems away because I forget that I have them, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. It's kind of like this green peridot that I can't even remember where I put it. That's another part of the problem. This tiny little peridot. This is probably the smallest piece I've ever cut by hand. I've cut some smaller ones, but I used a hand dop. And this one I actually cut with my magic fingers. It's got a nice little green bow tie. I love peridot. It's a pretty stone. A nice friendly stone. Always cuts nicely. But I also wanted to show you this amber under the microscope cam before we get to the why did I buy pepperonis. Because this amber, I don't have a polish on it yet, but I did get most of it worked. That's a piece of lint, and it shows a little bit of blue in the right sunlight and off of those LEDs. Notice the blueness that comes through from the UV. It's got a lot of inclusion in it, and I wanted to send this to Colette. She needs a little piece of amber, and she loves these interesting stones. So I got the rough shape of this amber done. We got a lot of the dirt cut off of it. I'm pretty sure I was showing this piece last week. I hope. I think I had it labeled on the whatchama. But anyway, this piece of amber has all these inclusions. We're going to polish it up, and then we'll make it a feature, and you'll get to see it finished up the rest of the way. Oh wow, all kinds of comments, and I'm not even caught up. I need the perfect cannabis mix. Oh yeah, well, okay, so the thing about the plant food is that, like, and I won't get into the whole 8-hour long story of, how I got into the plant food, but when I saw what it did to my raspberries, I was like, let's see if other people enjoy this as much as I do, because they jungled out. At first I was like, am I putting uranium on my plants? But it turns out ionizing nuclear radiation makes your plants look funny and mutated, and this just made them look more jungly, more like they were, growing in the Amazon or something like that. And so they look more green and colorful and healthy and thicker and stocklier and have more produce and stuff like that. And so I kind of actually got into what is it from a product side, and then I back engineered what I had dumped on my garden and made a recipe, and then I had it tested and approved by the Department of Agriculture, and so we're good to go on that. And then I started selling it. And it turns out there's like this green gold rush where people are selling tents and lights and all kinds of different plant foods and fertilizers to people who are growing their medicine at home. And so I kind of just stumbled into that market and I was like, well, what is my niche for this product? And it turns out what the product is an easy to use all in one soil amendment. And it's unavailable to the plants until they make it available. So it's kind of like, like you're not force feeding your plant, you're setting it out like a plate of food. And it's kind of like a buffet. And it's a different type of mineral source that your plants can draw from. So it'll help with like nutrient lockout and stuff like that if your plants are too used to one kind of nutrient. And so it's basically you just shake it up, add it once per growing season, and your plant. My tomatoes shoot out the top of the cages. I get bigger, thicker peppers, and I get a lot more raspberries. Really love that. Love to see how it would go. Can you use it on starter plants? I put it on my tomatoes and peppers when I put them in the ground, and they're about 4 to 6 inches tall. So I've heard people use it on seeds and have good results. I've seen people grow with like coconut shreds, and if you give too much of it to it at once, it can be too much nutrient at once if it's looking for too much, and you can see a little bit of leaf curve. But once the plant gets going, if it still has the powder in the soil to grow from, then it can really draw off of that, and it really fuels the rest of the growth of the plant itself. I need to zoom. Maybe I should zoom the video out a little bit. The power of thoughts. Hey, good to see you, the power of thoughts. Man, it's been a while. Hope you're doing well. Man, awesome. Glad to see people are here. If you have any questions about gemstones or about the show, or if you have any answers, those are always welcome too. I try to answer questions, including why I buy that, which is where we're getting to. Except at this point, we're still trying to figure out how to finish this gem in the video. And I noticed there's like a spot in the top that I was showing last week, and so I ate the top down. But the problem then is that it was too sharp, so I had to actually turn the top so that I got a more of a 45, which helps make the light not, because when it's too close to the top, then the light goes right through and you can see through it. It's called a window. So if I get more of a 45, which actually it makes the gem smaller, but it still shows the gem, then it catches all the light and it spreads that blue around that's in that zone that I was talking about. Hey, cute goth girl gamer. Oh no, a sad face. I saw you were playing a scary game. I hope you didn't get scared. That the jump scare games can be frightening. Good to hear. Let's see. I'm good. I need to order a lift. Like a lift, is that like a ride? I was thinking that would be an interesting way to meet people, is to like do lift stuff. But maybe I'm thinking that because I like driving my car. It's quick and it's fun to drive. Let's see, where were we? Out of things to talk about, pretty much. I'm doing great. Jacob, thank you. Well, thank you, Power of Thoughts. You know what? You're going to make it a great week because you have the power to do that. And that's part of the show. Try to recharge you for the week and get things going. Oh, man, I should have put on a shirt for the show. Yeah, welcome to third world production quality at first world data rates. Let's see, where are we? Nice gems. Thank you, Colette. Oh, I hope Cute Goth Girl Gamer gets cheered up. I hope she has a happier week this week. We want to have a good week, and we're going to try and make it that way. You got a smile on your face, and don't let people take that away from you. Which is part of the reason that I buy pepperonis. There we go. Have you ever bought pepperonis? Extra pepperonis? And why did you buy those? And which ones did you buy? Which ones did I buy? I was like, all right, I'm getting these little quick, cook them fast, and have some pizzas. Because Because if I cook a whole tombstone, I'm going to defeat the pizza. It's a bad guy, and I'm going to defeat it. It's a boss battle, you know. So I'm going for the more of the not quite a boss battle, more of the regular enemy boss battle, the early beginning boss battle. And then I kind of make it into a mutated boss battle by doping up the pizza with extra pepperonis and cheddar. And I actually, like, what I do is I'll put the extra pepperonis on, and then I'll take cheddar slices, and I'll quarter them up, and I'll put those on the pizza, and it just melts into this cheddaroni love. If I use the sprinkled cheese, it tends to, like, it's too thin, and it gets all crispy. Okay, we actually made it through that part of the video. I think I only have one short little piece of the video left where I tried to finish it out. Yeah, we got just a few more minutes of me trying to even this thing out. And then we're going to do the joke portion. So, which pepperonis did I buy, and why did I buy them? The pepperonis are in the middle of the shelf, under the pizza sauce, but over top of the shelf quality pizza crusts. And the Hormel ones, the ones that I'm used to, are back a ways, and I was like, And I saw them, and I reached and I grabbed them, and I was like, you know what? We're at Hy-Vee, which is, you know, Hy-Vee usually has more of a variety of stuff, so I was like, well, let's try these other ones. They're Mamma Mia pepperonis. And I was like, oh, fancy. You know, Mamma Mia, you got to say it with your hand. And there's actually, then after I picked up the package, I was like, well, there's more of them in here. I wonder if they're cheaper, like not as good. And they are, I mean, they're good, and they're pepperoni. They satisfy, but they don't burn as well. You know, like I like a good quality burn on my food. Like I like it to taste good, but I like it to fuel me up, you know, and keep going. So I don't know if I'm going to go with the Mamma Mia again. I will if I have to, but I think I'm going to switch back to the Hormel. The Hormel seems to have bigger, like you know how the pepperoni has like circly areas and stuff, and I think the Hormel has more like big circly greasiness, and that's what I like, is more salt, more grease, more fat, less filler. Don't want that filler. Don't want too much flour. Don't like too much starch, that kind of stuff. I mean, I like it, but it's so hard to burn. And I run off the American diet of dips, sauces, glazes, gravings, and I screwed it up. Just like the show. Okay. Dips, sauces, glazes, gravies, dressings, and toppings. Give me more salt. Give me more fat. That's how I eat. I usually get the Hormel too. Yeah, and Mamma Mia. Now that's a slicey pepperoni. Spicy slice of pepperoni. Slicey, spicy. That's pretty much how I read. I don't like the Mamma Mia that well at all. Ah, man, it's nice to have an expert in the show who knows what I'm talking about the pepperonis. That's cool. You want to be on a dating show. A dating show? Oh, you shared my live. Awesome, Vivian Sanchez. A dating show. How do I be on a dating show? I haven't done the you mean like product dates, because they might be expired. You know, if I will, but I need to shave. I didn't shave for that because I was like, it's getting too close to showtime, and I could either be a half an hour late for the show, or I could be an hour and a half late for the show. And I get so frustrated being 3 hours late for a half-hour show, which we're almost done with. I just wanted to explain why I bought pepperonis this week. That's pretty much why I buy them. I like cheddaroni. I wanted to add some extra to my pizza, and so I bought some extra pepperonis for my pizza. That's why I buy that. Do you ever buy pepperonis? Then why do you buy that? You know, which one did you buy? And why did you buy it? You don't wear a shirt on a dating show. Or maybe we're not talking about a dating show. Sweets here. Oh, I run on sugar. Cheers. We cheers up the corn sugar and lemon balm. Told that joke earlier. Vivian had a funny joke. We were talking about because Mountain Dew's got this new vodka-based hard Mountain Dew. I was like, I wonder if they're going to make a Mountain Dew hand sanitizer. She said it sounds sticky and something like the Hulk would do. You know what else the Hulk would probably do? Is try to show up for... I can find it. It's in here somewhere. Nope, not that way. We gotta go forward, not backward. So we can get to the joke portion of the program. Program, one of those things. I don't know. I got a few jokes. They're not very funny, but I got a lot of them. Is NPC PC? Somebody said the word cool beans. Like it's a good thing. But I mean, I like my beans to be hot. What are you trying to do? Sell me some cool beans? Which is something that you'd hear, you know, when you go to the taco place. Another thing I heard was a chef who was making tacos said, "Now we're talking." I know, I needed some content. But they didn't sit very well. So I went to the doctor in Mexico. He gave me a prescription. I asked how much I should take. He said, take dose. I just got more confused. My grandma graduated college. Now she's a gradma. Almost done, I promise. And we were talking about pepperoni. See, I want to invent the pizza, where the crust is a giant pepperoni. That just sounds delicious, right? The news should get in the bed-making industry because they sure like to lie in it. Oh, that's a negative joke. Boo. When it comes to joke writing, I try for a second layer. Give them the old 1-2. Like when a sandwich has lettuce and kale, and then comes with a trial gym membership. Trying to make me healthy. Whoever invented the word beer, it's obviously just shortened bring here. Absolute genius. Drink. Beer. 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 Just makes too much sense. Like when a reporter asked an artist how they've been able to make so many paintings, and the artist replied, "It's just that easel." Kind of like the joke portion of the program. I'm so glad you were all able to make it for my short little show this week. We're going to try and do the show again next week. Hopefully I'm going to have that amber polished up. If you got anything going on this week, go ahead and let us know in the chats. Because, you know, I like to see other people feature stuff, and I like to you know, share the news, make sure everybody's getting their fill of the awesomeness. And make sure you keep your awesomeness this week. Don't let anybody take that awesomeness from you. Did I fire up the... Okay, I did fire up the chat bot. So, yeah, you can do this. It's okay. We got that one. We got that one. And you can do it next week. Because we're going to make it a great week. And I'll see you next week. Hopefully at 9 p.m. Eastern. Have a great one.